Good morning, everybody. This is Lorraine, Alternative Homesteading. It's Saturday. Just wanted to say a quick hello. Hope everybody's doing well. What are you guys doing today? I just walked out of my house and I noticed some stripes right above my house. Is this amazing? Look at this, guys. It's 11 o'clock. I didn't wake up until like almost 9 because the criminals, yes, the criminals, they use radio frequencies to knock you out, even when you're not tired. And that's what happened. I woke up to my alarm, which was like 6:30 in the morning, and I decided I was going to stay in bed for another 15 or 20 minutes. Well, 15 or 20 minutes turned into a couple of hours. So anyway, this is what it looks like directly above my head. Right now, there are the trees on my property right here. And you can see that. It's right above here. And then there. And there. I wonder what's in that. What a pretty design. It almost looks like one of those Illuminati sunshine designs, right? Have you ever seen those designs? You have to look it up. Look up Illuminati or Freemason symbolism. And it's all over the internet. You can find it. If for some reason you can't, I'm happy to show you because I've got photos of it embedded all over my property. Yes, folks. That's what they do. This is what narcissists do. This is what criminals do. They want to take credit for their labor. And they usually leave behind a symbol or their signature, literally a signature. It could be the initial of their names. It could be a symbol that they associate with, like that symbol of pi, the mathematical pi that I find around the property, and also in New Jersey. So this is not something new to Kentucky. It's actually embedded in the dashboard of my vehicle. In the leg of an antique chair. It's pretty much all over this property. When I moved here, I started photographing it. So anyway, guys, do you have these patterns where you live? You could leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys are doing today. I hope that people are getting real busy with buying some extra food and water and medical supplies. Not to be a news reporter here, but I do read a lot about what's going on. And medical supplies are getting very short. We manufacture so much in China. People don't realize how much. And I'll explain something to you, and maybe you'll never want to eat meat again. I've been an animal advocate since, I don't know, probably I'm 12 years old, when I decided that I was going to purchase my makeup that was cruelty-free. When I found out what, back in the day, Revlon was performing something called a Dre's rabbit test. And what they would do is they would headlock a bunch of these beautiful little bunnies and pour mascara and eyeliner in their eyes. And anybody that has rabbits knows they don't have tear ducts, so they can't tear up their eyes to wash the chemicals out of their eyes. And this was horrible. They would become ulcerated, infected, die. No pain medication. And this was done for years and years and years. And yes, I was one of those people. I worked as a receptionist a long time ago. After I left, after I graduated high school, which was early. And I went to work at an advertising company in New York City. And in the building that I worked, there was Revlon. And you could probably look it up wherever Revlon is. And I was one of those people that would print out the rabbit flyers. And on my lunch break, I would go into their office there, and their lunchroom, which was open. See, back in the day, everything was open. Nobody worried about anything. And I would just walk in their lunchroom and casually leave the flyers on the tables and then split. I would send letters and stuff. But this animal cruelty has been going on for decades and decades and decades. So the United States has developed something called the Humane Handling Laws. And I'm subscribed to the list. I think it's the Department of Agriculture. I'm not exactly sure. But it's called Humane Handling. And there are codes with regard to handling animals and slaughtering them, raising them, feeding them, slaughtering, a lot of laws. I mean, I don't agree with all of them. I think some of them are too lenient, but it is what it is. At least we have laws about humane handling. China does not. And the point is that I'm going to get there. So what you don't know about your food, your meat, is even though it was being grown here in the United States, there were so many violations in humane handling that a lot of those slaughterhouses were shut down or received, hundreds of thousands of dollars in penalties, citations, etc. I know because some of them were located in New Jersey, where I moved from. But it's actually all over the country. There are slaughterhouses all over. Even some of the kosher slaughterhouses were cited with fines, lots of money in fines and stuff. So what these slaughterhouses started to do is they started to outsource their slaughtering to China. Yes, you have to do your research, people. Yes, those animals that you're eating at the supermarket, a lot of them were not slaughtered here in the United States. They were inhumanely shipped. I mean, imagine rounding up a bunch of pigs, cows, and carting them off to China, flying them, shipping them on boats, on cargo ships and stuff. No food, no water. And then they get to China and they go to these filthy, filthy conditions and they're slaughtered there. But some of the animals don't die immediately. If you don't have the correct tools and procedures to slaughter an animal correctly, many times they're alive. And I can assure you that many of those animals are slaughtered in the worst possible conditions, the filthiest conditions. No humane handling, and some of them are actually butchered alive. That's not permitted here in the United States, but it is there. And then they package up that meat and ship it back to the United States. I know this is going to be a red pill for you guys to swallow. I don't eat meat. I refuse. If I ever did, it would have to be something that I grew myself. I knew what it fed, that I loved it, that it had a wonderful life. But that's not what's happening here, folks. And people don't know this. You don't know this about the food that you're eating. And of course, it doesn't tell you on the label, packaged in China. Well, maybe it does. I don't know. You'd have to look. I don't purchase meat, so I don't know what's on the labels of meat anymore. But what I do know, and I stay abreast of, is the humane handling laws. How it's executed, and they have to be killed upon impact. They cannot let that animal suffer here in the United States. That's not what's happening in CHINA. It's not. And just think of how inhumane it is to round up animals that were raised here in the United States, no food, water, in cargo trucks and ships, packed. They cannot move. They're suffering, they're fainting. Some of them are dying in transit, only to go to a place worse than where they came. And then be slaughtered in filth by people that don't care at all. There are no rules or regulations, and this is why we're in a hot mess that we're in now. And this is the reason they're not talking about why Bill Gates wants us to eat bugs and then raise meat differently, because the way it's working now is we're shipping all of our animals to China. We won't be able to do that anymore. But most people don't know this. I don't hear any other YouTube creators talking about this because they're not into animal rights. They may be raising their own animals and doing it their own way, what they think is correct on their own homestead. But I can assure you, even some of the homesteaders are not caring for their animals the way they should. I mean, there was one YouTuber who was highlighting another YouTuber in his chicken tractor in the heat. And he probably had 30 or 40 chickens in one chicken tractor. They couldn't even move. And I'm thinking, this is not pasture raised. This is not free ranging. A lot of homesteaders don't give a crap about their animals either. I mean, if I had to eat one of my animals, the way they do it, the Native Americans do it, is they praise that animal. They give grace to that animal. They bless that animal. That animal is giving them something. Just the way they talk about their women, too. Women are wise in other cultures. They're revered in other cultures. But not here. Here in the good old USA, they want to turn men into women and women into men at 6 and 7 years old. They can't vote. I was listening to Jordan Peterson recently. I love that man. I do. If anybody doesn't know who he is, he's a psychiatrist, a psychologist in Canada. And he is a very well-known speaker and writer. He wrote a book called 12 Rules of Life. And one of the rules, one of the first rules is to make your bed every morning, you know. So, but look him up. He's all over the internet. He is so wise. And he's been speaking out about this topic recently, and I applaud him for putting his wisdom out there for people to hear and counter some of the ridiculous narratives that are out there now. Ridiculous. Make no sense. But anyway, folks, I've got to get back to my chores. I've got a lot of them today. A lot of chores here on the homestead. I've got a lot of dead stuff on the grass that needs to come up before the next rain. Otherwise, what happens is, if it's too heavy and then the sun comes out, it'll start to brown out those parts of the grass. Eventually, this field, I really do want to plow it and maybe grow some corn here, because there are portions here that I think could have rows here and plant some vegetables. I do get a lot of rain here, and it kind of pours down from the mountain here, and washes some things away. So I have to be careful about where I plant here, but the center should be good. The raised portions here. But I hope everybody's having a good day. And I didn't mean to bring you this sad news about the way animals are tortured in this country. But most people don't know. And if you don't know, you don't know. You know, we all lead very busy lives. But please, you know, question the things that you eat. Question the things that go into your body. And that goes for medications. I'm not going to say any more about that. But if you cannot read a label of what the ingredients are, or if some pharmacist opens up the box and opens up the list of ingredients and it is blank, that's blank by design. They don't want you to know. And then if it's blank and they don't want you to know, that's not informed consent. Right? You can't consent to something you don't know anything about. Right? Well, look at, these are the little guinea hens. Oh, they're actually mixed with the little chickies. But look at them here. Look at how brave they are. Look at how big they're getting. Okay, let's see if I can zoom in here. Look at these little chickie poos. They found some high perches here. They're grooming themselves after breakfast. Right? And then you got the biggies back. I call them the biggies and the littles. So those are the biggies and these are the littles. Are you a little? Oops, you just fell down. And look at them, how cute they are. The way they organize themselves. Isn't that cute? Well, anyway, I hope you're all having a good day. And signing off for now. Until the next video. Talk to you soon. This is Lorraine, Alternative Homesteading.